Hey guys, RPM here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. This video, all right, I wanted to do a little test with you guys, and I'm mining Quai right now. I have two identical Bitmain Antminer L9s, and I have them on two different mining pools. So one is on Cryptex, and then the other one is on PowerPool. And the reason why I'm on PowerPool, you guys may be asking, Red Panda, does PowerPool support Quai? And as of recording, yes, Quai network just announced PowerPool now has support for their Quai SOAP network for their script and SHA-256 networks. So if you have an L9, L7, or Bitmain ASICs or anything, any Bitcoin ASIC really, you can join PowerPool now, and PowerPool will mine whatever's most profitable and give that benefit to the people mining on PowerPool's servers. So they do the switching for you in that regard, that their backend. You don't have to do anything because it's going to mine whatever's most profitable and earn you the most depending on your hardware, which is great. So I have two identical Antminer L9s here, 17 gigahash models. And yeah, I started them at the exact same time, just to verify with you guys, 8 hours, 36 minutes ago, 47 seconds. I have one here, 8 hours, 36 minutes, 58 seconds ago. This one's on PowerPool. This one's on Cryptex. Okay, just to give a refresh here. So you can see here, they're seconds apart. And now to show you here, I have them on one's on PowerPool and this one is on Cryptex. And let me just do a quick refresh here. Okay, so we have $2.86 already on PowerPool, all right, and USDC. So I'm going into USDC on PowerPool. And then on Cryptex, I have $2.94 currently, unconfirmed balance on Cryptex. But here's the biggest difference here is that with PowerPool, I'm getting paid out right away, okay? And with Cryptex, or I guess any Quai mining pool that's out there, is that there's going to be a 2-week delay until you get paid out on the day that you started. So I'm not done with this test in this video. I'm actually going to be running this for the next, week or so. But this video was to mainly, talk about my testing methodology here. And also just talk about this Quai SOAP thing that's been happening. A lot of people have been mining it in terms of profitability. We're going to talk about Quai's price and all that kind of stuff, okay? So if you're interested in mining at PowerPool, go create an account, link down below. Feel free to use referral code RPM for 0.5% off pool fees off their normal 1% pool fee. So there's a couple flaws, I guess, in this test that I'm doing because I'm not mining into Quai on PowerPool. I feel like I should, because if we go to the options here, we can actually mine to Quai here. You can actually add Quai if you wanted to and do 100%. Or 50% paid in Quai, 50% USDC. That's one of the big benefits of PowerPool that I like. But say if I was going to go to 100% Quai, right, then it would get rid of my USDC here. But I'm not doing that because I want to get paid out in USDC. I want to know, what is going to be most profitable, and also compare, the 2-week delay paid out versus mining like the native Quai or mining into PowerPool USDC, because now they have this enabled here. So after about 8 hours and 40 minutes here, okay, as you guys can see right here, let me refresh here, we are in earning of about, $2 almost. We're getting close to $3 now after about 8 hours. But again, the benefit here on PowerPool is that I'm getting paid in USDC right now. And again, I'm not going to be paid out in another 2 weeks on Cryptex. But here's, I guess, the benefit here if you were to mine on Cryptex, just to be a little bit more unbiased here, depending on the type of goal that you have. So say you were doing the whole mine and hodl method, or you believe that Quai is going to have, price appreciation, which it could very well have, right? Ever since Quai SOAP started, I believe it was December 18th, Quai's price started to really ramp up here, as you guys can see. And so it went from like 2 cents all the way up until like 11, 12 cents per Quai. Over the past, over the past month, it's been kind of turbulent. I mean, I think that goes with the market right now. Crypto as a whole has been on a downward trend. I mean, Bitcoin as a whole has been going down. So I think that's just ultimately bringing everything else down, including Quai. Not quite sure. I'm hoping that Quai could bounce back because they have their, revenue generation and they're doing the whole buyback program. So all the Doge, all the Raven coin, all the Bitcoin Cash that they've been finding, the blocks wise, they've been hopefully, buying that and pushing that back into the Quai network, which, again, in the past month, there really hasn't been price appreciation. But again, kind of goes back to my thought process of, because Bitcoin is going down, bringing the whole cryptocurrency ecosystem down as a whole. But going back to mining here, so mining Cryptex right now, or any, Quai pool for that matter, is simply you're going to be earning the Quai in hopes that, it's going to price appreciate in the future. And for anyone that was mining Quai in the beginning, December 18th, all the way up until, mid-January, you did very well. You did extremely well, because anyone that was mining in the beginning during the Quai SOAP upgrade and all the way up until mid-January, you probably made 3 times, 4 times more than what you initially yielded. As the network hash rate difficulty started to climb, your yields were getting less and less as more and more people were joining. So the earlier that you got in, the more that you were able to essentially earn and profit from mining Quai. But here we are today. Okay, Quai is now 5 cents. And so this test that I'm doing is kind of flawed in a way, because if, let's say, Quai's price decides to go down, my earning here, my unconfirmed balance the value would go down essentially. Okay. So if we're at, 5051 cents right now, and looking at, we're at $3 and, 6 cents USD value right now. Let's say tomorrow, if I were to come to this and, maybe Quai dropped down to 4 cents, then my value here would drop down, right? The value of what I've mined here would go down. But, now that I'm on PowerPool on the other L9 here, is that I'm taking advantage, I guess, of the profitability mainly. So getting paid in USDC, it's a stable coin. So USDC, thankfully, or in this regard, depending on your goal again, doesn't have the luxury of the volatility of, going up and down, right? USDC is a stable coin. And so I'm getting, paid out in dollars here, essentially. So it's great in that regard for PowerPool if you wanted to go into USDC for the daily earnings profitability wise, versus if you were to mine on, let's say, Cryptex or any other Quai mining pool. Shout out to alphapool.tech. You guys should go mine there. If you are a believer in Quai and you want to mine for Quai, go mine to alphapool.tech. But going back here, okay, so Cryptex, okay, the pool that I'm on here, this is I'm doing this test just to see how the comparison is now that PowerPool has support for Quai SOAP. And so the profitability wise, I was just curious, because going to all these Hashrate.no, for instance, profitability on an L9 was always at the top of the charts. And so I'm just curious if, this right now with an L9 currently, or 16 gigahash model, says $8.87 revenue. All right. And so after my 8 cents, 7 cents electric, it'd be about $2 to $3 in profit. But I'm mainly going for the revenue here. I want to see how close PowerPool will be to these profitability numbers on, Hashrate.no, right? I just want to see if PowerPool is going to do that. Not necessarily be more profitable than maybe mining the native Cryptex, which again, the 2-week delay is the biggest factor in terms of the volatility of the coin going up and down. In 2 weeks, maybe Quai could be, maybe go back up to 10 cents. That would be great, right? But then you run into the risk of maybe in 2 weeks, Quai's price could be a penny, maybe a cent or something, 2 cents or something. Then what I mine today on Cryptex would be a lot lower, right? That's the risk you run into when you mining into the native script coin Quai here, because of the volatility of the coin, right? Hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. So the reason why for me now I'm doing this test on PowerPool, and to be honest, if you guys heard me talk about this before, I've been on PowerPool over the past half year now. I've been mining into USDC, getting that stable coin, essentially building that bag for having dry powder, having capital to invest in when times are low. And this is where now we are coming to this point where, it's getting low now. But for anyone that's doing, script mining for profitability, or for anyone that's in a larger scale maybe has much cheaper electric, industrial style, commercial electric, 3-4 cents. PowerPool gives you that ability to, really earn depending on which payout you want, which is great, of course, right? USDC is one that's very liquid, and a lot of people, especially big farms, like to mine into or even sell. Coinbase, a lot of the American exchanges, USDC, right? They love that. They don't have support for, USDT, Tron, but of course, shout out to PowerPool. They have BCH, Bitcoin, Digibyte, ETC. You can pay it out in Ethereum, Caspa, Litecoin, Quai, or Solana, right? A lot of these coins here you can be paid out in, which is great. A lot of variety depending, what your goals are, etc. So yeah, I'm just running this test just to see how it goes generally. And looks like my the Cryptex L9 here is 0.1 gigahash better than my PowerPool L9 here. So, Silicon Lottery, of course, these are, even though they're identical, 17 gigahash models, we're probably going to have a little bit of Silicon Lottery, at play here. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, just because, yeah, we're earning, let me just refresh here. Cryptex, we're at $3.01, and PowerPool, we're at $2.93 right now. 8 hours and 50 minutes in. Okay. So I'm going to let this go for over the next week. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll just keep making daily. If you guys want me to make daily videos or every other day or something, let me know. Or I can do a short or something like that. Or I actually post a lot on X. So if you guys are on X, feel free to follow me there. I also, actually, I want to talk about this. I also did a 11 to 12 day test, blind test with these two L9s, mining on one on PowerPool and another on ViaBTC. All right, ViaBTC is another massive mining pool on Script. That's literally the top pool for Script. And I just wanted to see which one was more profitable. Was it ViaBTC or PowerPool? And so with ViaBTC, it's actually, you can get paid out in Bitcoin or USDT, right? They give that USDT conversion. But unfortunately, they have the 4% PPS pool fee. So I wanted to see, was it a drastic difference compared to PowerPool's 1%? And shout out to PowerPool. Again, if you guys want to sign up for PowerPool, you can get actually 0.5% if you use code RPM on new account signups. So try that out if you would like. But anyways, there was a 5.07% difference here. So when I withdrew my funds, right, I started this test the same time, ended the test the same time, via BTC, I ended up with $105, okay, in USDT TRC20. There was also a $2 withdrawal fee. Then with PowerPool, I it withdrew me in 2 different transactions. So the minimum withdrawal for USDC is 12-hour intervals and 50 USDC threshold. You can change this, of course, if you want, just through PowerPool. It's very easy to do. I can actually show you guys. Go to wallets, and you can change the pay interval and minimum threshold. So this is the minimum threshold, 50 USDC, and then interval 12, you can do 24 hours, and then 100 USDC if you wanted to. So you can change that if you want. But combined total, and then I had another $10.14 left over because, again, the minimum was combined total was $110.49 and USDC ERC20. So there was a good $5 difference there. Okay. And so, I was like, okay, I made $5 more than via BTC. I mean, that's pretty huge. Like if you were a big mining farm, this could be considered, if you had hundreds or thousands of, Script ASICs, for instance, or Bitcoin miners even, that 5% difference there, if you were mining into USDT, of course, or USDC, that's a pretty big difference. And so I was like, man, PowerPool is definitely a little bit better and I guess honest with their, 1% pool fee versus via BTC's 4%. So I was like, yeah, this is something where, yeah, I've stuck with PowerPool because I remember doing a test like this just quietly by myself, with a couple of rigs. I'm just like, man, ViaBTC is taking a lot of fees, right? And another thing, I got like screenshots here is with ViaBTC as well, they have minimum conversion for all those script coins like Bells, Lucky Coin, Pepe, Junk Coin, Dingo Coin, etc. And I still had a balance on ViaBTC because I didn't hit the threshold, to get paid out in these coins. And it didn't convert into USDT. I had like $1.17 left, which was all in Bells, Lucky Coin, Dingo, etc., etc. So maybe if you were to consider the asset's unpaid percentage difference would then be about 4% and not 5%. So that kind of, in my opinion, goes in line with their, PPS 4% pool fee and versus PowerPool's 1%. So yeah, so my result here definitely shows that, I'm definitely going to keep mining on PowerPool because with my script miners, especially because it is earning me more. But yeah, there's ViaBTC right now has 853 terahash versus PowerPool's, let's see here. PowerPool has about 69 terahash right now. So yeah, I'm curious if there's going to be, I think PowerPool is one of the first, I guess, mining pools that have the auto conversion to USDC or any other coin support for Quai, right? So mining whatever is most profitable could be Quai right now, which I think, pretty sure they're mining Quai right now. And so looking at my earnings right now, let's just see, final update here, only after 8 hours, almost 9 hours in. And let's see who's winning. It looks like Cryptex is winning $3.08 value right now. So you guys can see, right? I'm very close here, $2.97 USDC and $3.08 in Quai. So what would you rather have? Would you rather have the native Quai in hopes that volatility wise, Quai could also have price appreciation? That would be great, right? That would be great because of their buyback program. I truly hope that it does. Or would you rather have be paid out in USDC? You guys let me know, right? Considering also exchange fees, like maybe, versus mining Quai, you have to wait until Kraken gets support on Quai or any other exchange out there, which I think you need to use a VPN. There's no American support for MEXC or Gate or anything like that, CoinEx. So we can't use these exchanges for trading Quai. So yeah, that's another drawback, right? But with PowerPool, they're doing the conversion for you into USDC. So this, helps with, tax wise, especially if you're in a bigger scale, etc. And you just simply don't have to worry about converting. So anyways, guys, I will update you once I have a full 24 hours, actually recording another video doing that. So yeah, I'll update you guys how it goes. And if there's anything else you guys want me to try, let me know down below. But yeah, let me know if you guys are mining to PowerPool right now for Quai. Let me know down below if it's going well or not going well. And if you want to give it a try, feel free to sign up. Use code RPM. You get that 0.5% pool fees off for 3 months. So even better earnings for you. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video. Let me know your thoughts. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out. Are you looking for reliable, affordable ASIC hosting? Terra Hosting, white glove ASIC hosting is for you. Get straightforward pricing starting as low as 8.25 cents per kilowatt hour, and that price includes everything. Maintenance, security, RMA assistance, all built directly into the kilowatt hour rate. No hidden fees, no surprises. Enjoy 99% average uptime, no curtailment, and a rock solid 97% service level agreement, an industry first. Your hardware at Terra Hosting stays protected in a high security property, no public access, redundant internet, and security systems. Terra Hosting runs dedicated power infrastructure engineered for consistent performance and maximum efficiency. Plus, you get access to their custom management portal, real-time stats, billing, and multiple payment options, and full control of your ASIC miners in one dashboard. They are also developing an iOS and Android app to give you full control at your fingertips. And I have been hosting a bunch of script miners at Terra Hosting over the past year, and it's been just perfect. ASIC hosting done right, transparent, secure, and built for miners who demand the best. Visit terrahosting.io today and schedule a 30-minute call or inquire through a special form, links down below. Thank you to Terra Hosting for sponsoring today's video.